Yo, what is going on, everyone? I am Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. Welcome to another hangout on the Sunday morning live stream. Before we get to anything else, let's hit the intro. All right. We have one person joining us so far, and I need to ask him what time it is. All right, Mike Becker, what time is it?
It's Morphin time.
Boom.
I think my hair is at the same level of shaggy as in that.
Dude, I am feeling super shaggy right now. That's why I got a hair or a hat on. I need to go see the barber, no doubt about it. How you doing, man?
Good. Do you go to a barber or do you go to
Just go to Great Clips,
like a hairdresser?
Yeah, just whoever can cut my hair.
I was going to I've been to two barber shops here in KC, and they're both really good, but I can't pay that kind of like the nicer one I go to over by my work. I've only been to once, and they're like $35 for what essentially is shaving my head, but they do it like in layers and they line it up and everything. But they have some baseball players and lower tier Chiefs go there, so it's like they can charge you $35 and $40 for a shaved head.
Sure.
Get away with it, and I would just rather do it in the mirror.
I think that where I go, they charge like $18 for a haircut, and then I leave a tip, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a tip.
Ends up being like $25 or something like that, 28, whatever it is. Anyways, we have a couple sponsors we need to hit up, and then we'll get started here. It's a little early for everyone, so hopefully some more people file in here. Thank you, Eric, _pressing on Instagram. If you guys ever need any books pressed, hit up Eric. And use promo code BURK54, get free shipping back to you on your first order. And also, Eric will be sponsoring the C3 event next week. He's going to be giving away some free pressings to that on the giveaway wheel, which is pretty awesome, with free shipping back as well. Thank you to the amazing people over at 616comics.com for sponsoring the channel and the monthly Burke Box, which I may even show off today. You guys, make sure you guys check out the 616comics.com for exclusive variants, ratio variants, and more.
Hi, Chris.
I need to add in one more thing here. And then, where is it? This isn't it. No, that's not it. Where is it? Not in it either. Where are you? I need to add in my my new channel members because it keeps changing. I got to keep changing the list. So, all right. Channel members 125. So how you doing today, Becker?
I'm great. How are you, Burke?
Dude, I'm not
ready for some football.
Dude, I'm more than ready for some football.
I'm apprehensive about some football.
So they said that this is the first time in 42 games, so the last 41 straight at home, that the Chiefs were. This is the first time they've been an underdog at home since Patrick Mahomes became the starting quarterback.
I mean, you can kind of understand it, though.
Sure. Okay, I got this in here, so I want to go over it really quick. Thank you to the channel members. You guys are amazing. Everyone in a family tier there is entered to win that monthly Burke Box, again, sponsored by the 616comics.com. A link to everyone in the friend tier and family tier, a link to their Instagram or YouTube is in the description of all my videos. Subscribe to them, follow them, and support this amazing comic book community. Thank you also to Beckerman. He's a family tier member. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And C3 is this next week, starting on Friday over on Mark's channel, ending up Friday night over on DJ Lynx's channel. We'll go over to John's Comics for Kids. We'll go over to Rod's Fat Stacks. We'll go over to Remy Q's on Saturday. On Sunday, we'll start here, and we'll end up with the auction later in the afternoon. It's an exciting time. We're excited about it. We are definitely.
So you're one of the host channels of that.
I am. Yeah. Next Sunday morning. Yep. That is going to be me.
I don't know where I'm going to be, but I know I'm auctioning off a I should have had it over here, but I didn't know we were going to be talking about this. I'm auctioning off a Neil Adams convention head sketch of Havoc.
Dude, nice. What's up, Los? How's it going, man? Waiting for on a CBCS book today. Oh, dude, I want to send you the link because you know what? Los is that guy. I've known Los since I'm pretty sure I've known Los since pre-YouTube, like before I even started my YouTube channel. This would have been 4 years ago. I've known him that long. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. A wonderful human being.
When I saw his name, I got it confused with Comic Journey, the guy with the hands.
Oh, yeah.
That comes on late at night.
Yeah, Los has changed his name a few times. Well, if you just search Lasombra 2579, you'll find him.
Okay.
What's up, AR? How's it going, man? How you doing? So, should I show off the Burke box really quick? Just like I haven't told anyone.
Yeah, man.
I haven't told anyone that I want to be showing it off today. So we have the Burke box sponsored by the 616comics.com. I typically try to have like one key or smaller key in the bunch. And unfortunately, I do not have one. But to make up for that, I decided to put more exclusives from the 616. Because normally I do 6 or 7. This time I'm going to do, I think I have 9 or 10 exclusives from the 616. So I'm going to start showing them off. And we're going to also have another art piece from Tomorrow Cinema. I know you love some art over there.
Oh, I do love art over here. That's awesome. I didn't know. So, yeah, you've been doing art from the community for a while now in each box, right?
I have been. I
got that sweet Predator from Austin LeMay in the Burke box I won 2 months ago.
Yep. So I did Austin LeMay. I did Cardboard Crazies, Karate Kevin, Chip Gittler, Tomorrow Cinema.
That Gettler one was sick.
Yes, it was. I had him queued up for 2, but he got super busy. So maybe we'll come back to him later. I also did some stands from Cadrano Prints.
I remember that.
I don't remember who else, but I know those are a few of the people that we've had on here, and a few of them we've done more than once or twice. I think Austin LeMay has done at least 3, so if not 4. Okay, first book up here for the October Burke box is just a throw-in. It's just a Tech 27 facsimile.
Facsimile.
And if you want to win this Burke box, hit that join button, become a family tier member, and we'll get you joined up in the Burke fam chats, and you'll get all the stuff that everyone does. Okay, we have a House of Slaughter #1, John Jang. Where's Mark at? Where's Mark at? I think there was 2 different covers for this, and I want to say like I don't know if like her face covering is different, but I know there's 2 different covers for this, and I think I have both. So there's that one. I believe this is a Poison Ivy #1, Nathan Zerdy. We have I think this is a Gwenverse cover, David Nakayama.
Oh, I really like David Nakayama.
DNA. Spider-Man Miles Morales, I believe this is 27. This, I believe, is a Rose Besh cover.
It is.
We have a Bunny Mask cover. Scott from Hoarder's Hide would like this.
I was going to say there's Hoarder's Hide's music.
Bunny Mask, Hollow Inside. Cover artist Selena, #1.
I'm sure he owns it.
Probably.
No, I mean the original art. Do you know how much Bunny Mask original art that guy owns?
I do not. Is it a lot?
It's ridiculous.
This is Invincible Red Sonja #9, Josh Burns. If anyone is into the female covers, I know Panda is. We have a Batman 118 Kale New Minimal Trade Dress. We have
I
another
see that cover a lot.
I know. Batman 108, John Boy Myers. Trade dress. We have 2 more books left. We have an X-Men number 10. I forgot who did the exclusive for this. I'll have to look it up here in a second. Pretty sweet. Oh, I guess I can look at the signature. Perillo. Or Perillo, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And then this is a Gwenverse cover, which I'm not sure who did the cover on this one either, but it is gorgeous.
Oh, I like that.
So that is this month's Box, and we'll have also, like I said, an art piece donated from Tomorrow Cinema. So thank you to the 616 for sponsoring the channel, for sure. I actually need to reach out to them later today about some more books for C3 and for the channel. So
that is a great Brick Box.
I appreciate that.
A lot of exclusives, man.
I appreciate that. I mean, shout out to
I love the one I got. We Alan and I opened it up on his channel, and it's great.
I love Alan. Alan. I love Alan.
You love what?
I love Alan Rue, the comic Viking. Sometimes I slur my words a little bit in the morning. I apologize.
Remy, if you're out there, timestamp that.
It's at 11.
It was like 11:53.
11:53 on the live stream. Watch the Braves lose, but to make up for that, I got to watch Georgia destroy one of the 8 teams that are basically high schoolers on our schedule. The SEC is basically state-sanctioned bullying. Yeah, so
state-sanctioned.
It's legal now, so I can say what I want. I bet on Georgia to win. I put money on them and a parlay of them, Texas and Oklahoma to win. Money line, and then I did like a boost token because they're all pretty heavy favorites. Like one was a 17, one was a 9, and then I don't know what Georgia was, but it had to have been like 28 or something. And I just did money lines, but I had the boost token, and I turned $20 into 36. I was pretty happy about that.
That is good.
I was pretty happy about that. So, yeah, Georgia's good. And yeah, Vanderbilt should not be an SEC, but you know what? Kudos to them for being in it. I'm sure they're making bank off of that.
I was going to say, I mean, when you see some of the big conferences, what they're, even the smallest teams, revenue generating teams get as their share of the
TV deal
split on the TV rights. Oof.
I mean, like for instance, Northwestern should not be in the Big Ten. Like,
actually,
I know they have the Chicago market.
I mean, so Northwestern draws more money than, say, in Indiana.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think about.
But Northwestern, like you just said, you get Northwestern, you have access to the Chicago TV market. So when you look at what they bring in the Big Ten, it's actually more than, say, like a rural, like Indiana.
But their fan support's terrible.
Do you know who another big money drawer is just based on TV contracts? Rutgers, because of the New York TV market. It's crazy.
But did you see how much money they're in a hole for? They're like almost $300 million in the hole since joining the league because they've had to upgrade so many things to be in that league, and it just hasn't been good for them. So,
but it's been great for the Big Ten because they got into that Northeast TV market.
Yeah, I feel you. I agree with that. I don't know. I'm excited about the new Big 12. Honestly, K-State's got a chance to win the Big 12 this year. We really do. We next week we're at TCU, who's undefeated, obviously, but both of us are undefeated in conference.
How are you feeling about that game?
I like K-State to win that game. We match up well. We match up really well with them, and then we have Oklahoma State and Texas both at home back to back. So our next 3 games will let us know whether or not we're going to win the conference. If we go 0-3, we're not winning it.
Before we go back to comics, let's move to pros. What is your prediction
for today?
The Chiefs-Bills game today?
30. Let's go wacky score. 37-33 Chiefs.
So I don't know if I feel confident enough to put a number on it, but I will say this. I and this isn't. I'm not trying to like be negative or anything, but if one of the teams wins by like more than a touchdown, I believe that'll be the Bills. However, if it's a tight game, I think the Chiefs can pull it out.
Yeah.
But I'm just afraid that like if you do what you did against the Raiders and you let them go up 14-0, you're done. The Bills are not going to make the mistake.
It's weird though, because the Chiefs, they know how to play to their schedule. Like we're playing Tom Brady. We're about to go crazy on him because we're pissed off. We were pissed off, right?
But see, I feel that's the Bills right now. They're coming into Arrowhead mad about last playoffs.
Sure. Oh, I agree with that. But the Chiefs know how to beat the Bills. They know how to attack that defense.
I hope so.
So I feel like last week was a trap game. Is in between Tom Brady and the Bills. So that's
I've been to one Bills Chiefs game, and the Chiefs won.
There you go.
So let's make it 2 for 2.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a great game, honestly.
Oh, I'm excited. We're gonna head over. I think after this, what is it, 9:00? Yep. I'm looking to leave here at about 11. The parking lot opens at 11, but it's only like 15 minutes from here. So we're gonna let that initial rush get in there, and then we're gonna go. I think we're gonna pack a lunch and eat in the car, and then walk around a little.
The one Chiefs game I've been to was that playoff game, and I'll tell you what, I have been cold at a lot of games, and I know I've been to colder games. 100% I've been to colder K-State football games. That was one of the coldest games I've been to.
It was very cold.
It was like, it was the wind chill. It was bad.
You had Panda sitting next to you, though. Couldn't you, like, kind of...
Dude, those seats, those seats, man, they are not big enough for us, man. They are not.
No, it's pretty hard. I'm actually sitting in the seat today. I'm sitting in the seats that you and Panda sat in last.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I remember I was sitting there like this because I had Panda on one side and a dude just as big as Panda on the other side.
You gave Panda the aisle? You gave Panda the aisle?
I did.
You are such a sweetheart.
You know, he fell asleep like 3 times on the way back from the game to his car because I had to drop him off in Topeka before he could go back to Wichita. He snores so loud, and I mean,
you are just such a detractor of Panda's snoring. Like, I don't know if anybody hates Panda's snoring as much as you.
I shared a room with him for 3 days at Planet Comic-Con, and that dude snores real bad. That's all I'll say.
So did you say now that we're getting kind of close to comic books, Planet Comic-Con?
Yeah.
You said Lowe's is your hotel, huh?
Yes.
I grabbed a room at the Marriott. Damn it.
You need to do Lowe's. You need to go.
I'll need to switch. All right.
Because Lowe's is the one connected to the con. You don't even have to leave. You don't have to go outside at all.
Marriott's connected underground.
Okay. Well, this is the one that all the celebrities were at last time. You remember? You were there.
Yeah. I didn't go back with you guys to your hotel. That was that first night. And then the second night we met you guys at McFadden's. Dude, but that's the whole reason I'm doing it is I don't want to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
I just want to stay downtown.
Yeah, exactly.
At least for Friday and Saturday night.
That was one of the best weekends I've had in a long time. Like, just to chill and go hang out in the bar district and get some comics.
Help me on my chair.
And I'm glad to hear that you're not. I'm glad to hear you're not working this time because I wish you got.
Yeah, no, not doing that. But I ran into Ray yesterday at Denny's deal.
How was that? By the way? How was that Garage Con?
Yeah, I liked it. I had fun.
I was gonna go to the Garage Con, but my wife.
Yeah, that's what Denny said, and I was like, I didn't even reach out. I always kind of figured during football season, it's got to be inconvenient for you to.
It is.
Try to get anywhere because I know how it is having season tickets to something. It's like your off weekends are kind of important because, I mean, college football really eat up a weekend if you're going to every game.
I mean, they do, and that's living in town too. You know what I mean?
I had season tickets to Iowa for years. Jill and I did, and I mean, we had to drive an hour and a half each way for those games, and it ate up your weekend.
It does, and especially when you have a child, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. I could have taken her with me to Kansas City, 100%, right? But that's a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back with a 7-year-old. You know what I mean? And that's just it was not gonna work.
To be honest, I was shocked that he said you were considering coming, because I was like, I didn't even think. I mean, then I kind of felt like a jerk. I was like, I didn't even think of inviting him, because I knew with GarageCon too, I don't go for a long time. I just pop over and talk to the locals I know, and I always buy some comics from Denny, and then I had prearranged a friend of mine who now has a comic book business called That Guy Comics.
Okay.
Shout out to Phil. He had a big short box. He had a short box full of blanks that he let me go through. I needed to re-up on getting some blanks to get sketched.
I was say, do you have anything from yesterday you want to show off?
Yeah, I'll have to run out to the living room real quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm nice avatar. Yeah, so there was a GarageCon, which there's like a whole Kansas City group here in the Midwest that does like different events every weekend or every other weekend. And there's like little mini cons, there's garage cons. There was like a signing thing happening one weekend. And so there's typically like there's a whole schedule of stuff coming up for the year that they all like take part in. And this past weekend was GarageCon 2, which was the second one for the year. And I was going to go to it. I really was. But my niece had a volleyball tournament, and my brother-in-law had to work, so my wife needed to help with that. And it just wasn't going to work for me to take my 7-year-old with me 2 hours to Kansas City for the GarageCon just for me, and then drive 2 hours back. It wouldn't have worked with a 7-year-old. So, but maybe I'll go to the next one. We'll see. I've been wanting to go to a GarageCon for a while. I know that the first one was over the summer, and it was like 95 degrees. So, yeah. Let's see here. Kevin is here. Aggressive Relaxing is here. Los. Appreciate everyone for stopping in here. I know it's kind of early on this Sunday morning. I know a lot of people are still sleeping. We got some football later in the day. Like Becker said, he's going to be going to the Chiefs game later today, which I'm pretty jealous of. What's up, Mark? How's it going, man? Yeah, so let me talk about that. So I already talked about it earlier. I went over the whole schedule, but I'll talk about it again since you asked about it. So we have the Comics Curing Cancer event next weekend. It is a 3-day fundraising event here on YouTube. It'll kick off Friday morning over on Mark's Regional Comics channel. Friday night, we'll go over to DJ Lynx's channel, which he's got so much stuff that he's going to be doing auctions for. Saturday morning, I believe it is on John's Comics with Kids channel. Afternoon, we're going to go over to Only Slabs. Saturday night, we'll be on Remy Q Studios. We'll be on my channel Sunday morning.
All right, I'm back.
I cannot remember who's doing Saturday afternoon, but Saturday afternoon is when the last of the auction will be happening. And I'm going to be doing some giveaways on my channel as well. We're trying to raise money for cancer, as you could tell from the logo.
To fight cancer.
Yep. If you want to donate anything, there is the QR code right there. Hit us up on Instagram. Yo, meow. What is going on, BLC? The cat is here. Berto, what is up, brother? How you doing? Robert, Berto, whatever you want to be called. I call him Berto because that's on his nameplate for work. So. Also, can we expect from Steve special Sunday episode that involving C3? Okay, there we go. No, so we'll be doing giveaways for like if people like. I'll talk about it later. Like once we get to like certain amount of money that was like donated, we'll be doing giveaways and all that stuff. So, okay, you have some stuff you got from GarageCon yesterday.
Yes, I do. I picked up some blanks, as I mentioned. Jill was actually, I'm glad I went out there when I did. She was just debagging and boarding what they were in and changing them over to new ones. She's been helping me organize my comics this weekend. So here's my first blank. We
Okay.
have a Darkhold. This is Midnight Massacre Darkhold pages from the Book of Sins. And I would like to get a ghostwriter on here in white.
Oh,
Then
I
we've
forgot.
got
Before we get any further, the other artist, one of my best friends that did a Burke box, and I said this way earlier, and I apologize for cutting you off. Ruby G did some art for back-to-back months for the Burke box, and I forgot to mention his name earlier. Amazing.
Love Ruby G.
I love Ruby G. Okay, go on.
Good people. Chewbacca. I don't know why. I just thought that might be a fun one to get something on. Avengers. I've had one of these. This is what I had Clayton Crane work on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to do another one. Maybe a jam piece on that one. I love black covers. King in Black. Immortal Hulk.
I like it.
And another Savage Avengers. I've already had one done. What's the name of the guy that does the airbrushing and was at Fountain City? Martin Zavala. He did a Conan on a Conan airbrush on my last Savage Avengers.
Nice.
So I might get I don't know what I'll get on a Savage Avengers. Maybe a jam piece. Who knows? I'm into those lately. Then let's get into some books I picked up from Denny. Denny's always good about bundling, and he's got these just chock full of goodness boxes.
Marcus has a crush on him.
What?
I said Marcus has a crush on him.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, because of Marcus, I now call Denny Handsome.
Oh, that is amazing.
He's amazing. Like, you guys are too much.
That sounds like something he'd say.
We'll show up to your house and we'll sexually harass you.
Oh, shoot.
So these are some run fillers. Working on an All-Star Comics run. That's issue 62. We have an All-Star Squadron, number 1. And then we have Adventure Comics Presents Dial H for Hero.
Nice. These are all books you got from
number
Garage
487. These were all in Denny's cheap boxes. They weren't $1, but I think they were like 2 or 3, something like that. Then we've got.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I was going to say he does a great job of like putting them in different sections, like a key box of stuff. And he's got like if you want to get like, I think $5 for $6, the dollar ones, and he's got like the $5 ones where you get 5 for 20 or something like that. So
he does, yeah. What are these? Mark. Well, it's specific to Justice League Dark.
Yeah, so I am not the most.
Well, no, you're fine, man. I just knew Mark would know what these are. These are would be what you call DC
what numbers
minor keys.
What numbers are they?
So this is Swamp Thing issue 49. And this is the anniversary issue, Swamp Thing issue 50. So you got your first cameo and first full Justice League Dark.
Nice. I'll tell you what.
I knew Mark would be an appreciator of that.
Well, with how like dark the DCEU is, like I'm surprised that we haven't got like a Justice League Dark live adaptation. You know what I mean? Like if they are already going for the dark stuff, as you can see, like if you watch the Titans TV show, that show is pretty dark. Dark.
I only watch Stargirl.
You need to watch Titans, dude. It's
really because Stargirl's the best. If you haven't watched it, it is amazing.
I watched the first episode.
And you didn't like it. That's right. I forgot about this.
But they need to do a live action Justice League Dark at some point. Of how dark DCEU is. So, what else you get?
That was it. That was my haul from GarageCon.
Nice. Oh, that's a nice little haul. I like that.
As long as I was there, that's pretty good because I didn't really go through a whole lot. I spent most of my time standing around talking. One of the people I talked to was Ray, and I sat myself and Marcus up to get some exhibitor badges at Planet from
That's
him,
right. Yep.
And he won't need me to work the booth. He's kind of partnered up with some of the sellers he's met through Denny.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got plenty of people sharing the workload with him over at his booth. All he needs is a couple of schmucks to stand in lines for him to get autographs and stuff. And that can totally be Marcus.
I like it. And Marcus loves to stand in line anyways.
He does. He's a heck of a line
standing in line.
And knowing Ray, he won't need too much at Planet because it's a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
But yeah, great group of guys those GarageCon dudes are.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Ray had his daughter with him. They were walking around Denny's yard and stuff playing. It's cute.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I've talked to my wife. We're going to be going opening night this Friday night to Black Adam.
Black Adam, yeah.
Yep, we're going to go Friday night. We're debating on whether or not my mom is going to watch Arya or if her mom is going to watch her. But we're definitely going opening night, and I'm super excited about that. No doubt about it. Are you going to be going opening night or opening weekend? Or
yeah, I have gotten kind of adopted by Marcus's movie crew, so I'm waiting for them to decide on when we're all going.
Okay. I like it. Didn't last time you guys all go to the Thor? And
yeah, we went to Thor, where Marcus made fun of me because every time Thor made a stupid joke, he was like, and then I would hear Becker go.
Did you really do that the whole time?
Well, at the really egregious ones, like when they went from, the one I really remember is when Russell Crowe appears and like he keeps making orgy jokes and he like flounces around in his little skirt and it's just being unnecessarily like jokey dumb.
Right.
I just remember just thinking the screaming goats got me too. It just all felt like Rick and Morty humor, which is fine within Rick and Morty, but
I found it entertaining. It was entertaining. It wasn't a award-winning movie, and they've definitely I wouldn't say they've destroyed Thor, but they've come pretty close to destroying Thor.
Jason Aaron had the stuff they were taking from Jason Aaron to make Love and Thunder was a good storyline. Jason Aaron is a really good writer. I just feel like his work deserved a better attempt at turning it into a movie than that. But hey, to each their own. Everybody's mileage is different. If you enjoyed Love and Thunder, I'm glad for you. I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. I'm trying to find the. So you are going to go see.
Yeah, I'll be going this week. I just don't know what day.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to go Friday night, and we'll probably go to dinner before. Maybe we'll even eat at the theater because they do dine-in theater and like the chairs that recline. It's pretty awesome.
Do you have B&B over there then, or what do you have?
AMC.
Okay.
So, and we used to have a different one, and then they built a brand new one in the mall, and they thought like it would bring more people to the mall to shop, so they raised like the they raised the rent for everyone else, and now half the mall is
empty. That's like every mall though.
Half the mall is empty, and people literally only go to the theater because it's on one end of the mall. It's not like in the middle or anything. So
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do something real quick.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we're excited about Black Adam. I mean, when we say we are excited, I mean me. I'm not quite sure Winter knows anything about Black Adam other than me telling her it's The Rock is in it, and I don't even know if she'd remember me telling her that. But I'm really excited. I'm really, really, really excited. It comes out Friday. We're gonna go see it Friday. Big DC fan, obviously, and I'm really excited about seeing the JSA, and seeing possibly there's some rumors. Possibly we might be seeing Big Blue. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully he's in a movie. Hopefully he's in a movie. Hopefully brings in what The Rock keeps saying, the new era of DC. So I'm excited about that. I'm really, really, really excited about that. The community's reaction to She-Hulk and Love and Thunder is really explaining my own subscriber members. Yeah, so when he gets back, we'll talk She-Hulk a little bit. We talked about it on Thursday, but I definitely want to give my thoughts a little bit more on it. I said what I said on Thursday, but I don't feel like I gave my full review just because it had just come out. But I have some thoughts, and I know Becker's probably got the same exact thoughts. So I'm hyped for Black Adam too. What the heck was that? Just heard some odd noises. Dr. Fate, yep. Thor: Love and Thunder is getting all your teeth pulled. Honestly, I enjoyed it for what it was. So it didn't need to be award winning or anything, but I liked it. So. Oh my God, laughing at this new cars show on Disney Plus, and they've got them all done like Mad Max cars, and the Queen of one of the armies has the same exact headdress as Queen of Nice. So, like we were saying earlier, next Sunday, I've just put it in the queue. Comics Curing Cancer here. Next Sunday morning, we'll do it 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Time. And we'll be doing auctions, we're doing giveaways. I'm going to try to get some people that I know. I'm going to see if I can get some of my friends that aren't typically on YouTube as much to jump in here and give away some stuff, or to auction some stuff that they would like to. So I need to reach out to them more this week. But we'll be doing some giveaways and all of that. And like I said, it kicks off Friday on Mark's channel. We'll be going to DJ Lynx's channel Friday night. John's Comics for Kids is on there. Obviously, Rob's Fat Stacks, Remy Q, Tylox, myself, a few others as well. I feel like Becker's icon, or hold on. I feel like Becker's icon is how Legion looks whenever anyone says it. They like anything about She-Hulk. Or they like anything about, who does he dislike? Mark likes typically anything. That's his face if they say they like the Moon Knight show. I did not like the Moon Knight show. I hated that show. I thought it was one of the worst I've ever seen. Rob, what's going on, dude? How you doing, brother? I did not like it. The goats were annoying after the beginning. Bale was the best part, and he got nerfed. Yeah, I honestly thought, Christian Bale did a great job. I thought he did a really, really, really good job. So, I might hit up a few of my friends to see if they want to auction some stuff next week on the channel. It'll be a good time. Just got out of bed. West Coast. Yeah, West Coast. So that means it's 7:15 a.m. there. Now, I was still sleeping at 7:15 Central. I was still sleeping. I think I woke up at 7:30 or 7:45 or something like that. So, Becker.
Hey.
You good, brother? You good?
Beats of strength over here.
You sound like we just got done with Jack Slaps Barbecue or Slap. What was
Slaps Barbecue?
Slaps
which
Barbecue.
Is now third place in the American Royal.
Yeah.
So good for them. That I heard it like doubled their lines. They won that?
Which channel or live stream are you going to be joining next week for C3? I'm assuming you're going to be.
I'll be wherever needs me, wherever Rob tells me to go. I will be there.
Okay.
Because Rob is doing just a fantastic job with C3.
He is. I might hit up Ray and Denny to see if they want to come on and auction some stuff.
Denny's been taking in collections. He said that you had talked to him again about filming.
I have. I've talked to him several times. He's just busy, and his collections they're getting are just massive.
Yeah,
he's getting insane prices on them, man. He's getting
good for him.
I mean, like I think one he paid like $1,000 or $1,500. I mean, it had to have been worth like $6,000 minimum. You know?
Good for him.
Yeah,
I like Denny. Denny's a nice guy and
you know,
handsome, as circumstances points out every time.
yes, every time. Oh shit. Okay, so they want to know our thoughts on She-Hulk.
Okay. Again, if you the thing I'll change up from Thor is, if you liked what you saw in She-Hulk, then I'm sorry, because in the finale, they really showed their disrespect
What up,
for you.
Los?
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, dude?
Hey.
How are you?
It's another Sunday. Got the kids all done. Wife just came back from the gym, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump on real quick.
Nice. So we're just giving our thoughts on She-Hulk, and Becker was giving his thoughts here, and then I'll ask you your thoughts.
Well, my thoughts are kind of dumb. Have him go. I'm checking comics in too.
Okay. I apologize for cutting you off there, Becker.
No, you're good,
I do
man.
that every single live stream like 1,000 times, and I apologize for that.
No, straight up, I've said what I thought about She-Hulk so much in the chats and the group chats and stuff. I'm kind of done with it. Like, I'm not mad about it, and that's what I think I'm coming off of, because I keep repeating the same thing when people ask me about it. It wasn't for me. I didn't like it.
Yep, that's exactly what
I thought the finale went off the rails. I think they essentially admitted they had a bad show. Whether or not that's other people, I know, like, for example, Brother John liked it, so I'm really glad Brother John, he felt it was a really well done show. That's, everybody's mileage ranges differently.
Yep, no doubt about it. I agree with that, because I think Tacoma Comics thought it was brilliant, and I would not use those adjectives to describe that show whatsoever. Lois, what did you think of She-Hulk?
Honestly, I liked it. I know, again, it's not for everybody, but I think at the same time, it wasn't supposed to be for everybody, right? I think it's one of those shows where they're trying to gain as much attention from different areas, right? So you're going to have your hardcore, comic people that want to keep everything the same, like the comics every single time. You're going to want people that have something different. The thing that most people have to realize is that whenever you have a comic book and you're going to bring it to real life, it's never going to be a one-for-one carryover. You're going to have to change it, right? The MCU already has a formula. They've already been doing this for 14 years or whatever it is. So if you're going to bring any new narrative in, it's going to have to fit into their narrative, not the comic book narrative. And I think as comic book fans, we get stuck in that comic book narrative where it's like, it needs to be just like the comic book. And it's like, no, it doesn't. In your head, it does, but in their narrative, it doesn't, right? So,
sure.
And you're trying to get more people that don't read comics into it, right? And this is a way for other people to be like, okay, well, I never read the comic, but the show seems interesting. Maybe I'll go back and read the comic or something like that. So I think that's where we tend to kind of like fall into this, oh, it needs to be like this, it needs to be like this. Like, it doesn't need to be for everybody, right? If you didn't like it, that's fine. But there's somebody else that did like it. And it could be one of those things where it's like, this person liked it. They liked all the other MCU stuff, but they don't like this one. Cool. But now I just gained 10 more people that never watched anything. And now they're into it. And now maybe they go back and watch some of the older stuff. And like, oh shit, this is actually pretty cool. So again, I know it's not for everybody. And, there's just some things that, was a little quirky. It was a little different. And I think it was one of those things where this was the show that if you wanted to do something that was off the rails and it was a little crazy, it would be this one, right? She was the character that broke the fourth wall all the time, way before Deadpool and all the other idiots. She did it first, right? In the comic books, there was one book in that John Byrne run where she literally broke through the damn panels and started talking to John Byrne and was like, what are you writing? This is crap. You know what I mean? And she literally had a conversation. So the end was almost kind of like that same thing where she like broke through and was like, hey, talking to the writers, like, what are you guys doing? This is stupid. You're following every single superhero trope. The bad guy gets this and turns into this or whatever. So I think the good thing about it, or the genius way that they did it, is they were like, hey, you know what? We know people are going to talk shit about the show. They've been talking about shit before the show even came out. People were already hating on it, right? So they're like, you know what? We're not going to take fun. We're not going to take ourselves too serious, right? This is what this show is going to be. It's going to be a silly show, comedy, legal, comedy. That's what they wanted to do, right? And you can tell that they put all those things into it. They're like, we know exactly what people are going to say about the show, so let's joke on it on ourselves before anybody else gets a chance to say it. So I, again, I thought it was good. I thought it was, pretty funny. It didn't. It was one of those things where it wants to be more self-contained and not like, because again, we have this, idea in our head that everything needs to be, intertwined, and everything needs to be. There's little pieces here that lead into this and lead into this, and everybody wants to look at the deeper clues and all these little Easter eggs and everything, and we get so wrapped into that we just don't look at the actual individual story and just be like, hey, how about this is just a journey of herself and saying, hey, coming to grips with being Jen and the She-Hulk, and her journey on that and stuff like that. And I think everybody was just too busy looking into, how are we going to tie in Hulk and World War Hulk and this and that, and how we tie in all these things. It's like, how about we don't, and just say, hey, let's focus on her journey. And I thought it was pretty good. I mean, again, like I said, it's not for everybody, and it wasn't supposed to be, and that's, we keep getting into that where, it needs to be for everybody, and they have to make this for all of us. And it's like, they really don't. They really don't. They don't have to answer to any of us, right? If we don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. Plain and simple. If it's not for you, then don't watch it and move on to something else. If you want to just catch the snippets or the little Easter eggs that you need to catch to, tie everything to the bigger universe together, then watch it on YouTube, right? I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people that talk about these little Easter eggs, and you don't have to watch the whole thing. You just get the little snippets, and now you know what you need to know for future projects, So, but I just, my take on it, I know a lot of people didn't like the show, and it got review bombed like crazy. It is what it is. Right? You're not going to please everybody.
I know you didn't care for this, but would you like to see the same actress playing She-Hulk again in something else that maybe made more sense? Because that's how I feel. I'm not against her. I feel like a lot of the detractors are. I'm not. I just haven't seen her in anything I like yet, but I'm not down on her. I think she had there were moments where I was like, okay, this is believable, and that's all I ask for.
Like I've never seen her. I know she was in Orphan Black. That was like her big role, and I've never seen her in that. I know in that show, I believe she portrays a bunch of different characters. Like she always like changes or something like that, and she's always like somebody different or something. So I'm not exactly sure, but a lot of people say that she's actually pretty good in that. I've never seen the show, and I've never seen her out of anything. I when they cast her, I was like, I don't even know who this is. But I mean, I thought she was likable. She was enjoyable. I mean, I think she was really good. She had her, sarcastic, wit about her. And the side characters were interesting. I was like, okay, she had some decent side characters and stuff like that. But again, I think the way the writing went, and it kind of leaned more towards like maybe like a more feminist kind of view or something like that, and they had a lot of the negative stereotypes about a lot of men and stuff like that. And I get it, right? I'm not a woman, right? I haven't gone through what women go through. I can see where the catcalling and working in an environment where it's more men based, especially in the law, getting to that field, it's mostly 90 something percent men. So it's hard to crack into that, and I get that. So for me to like say that it's man bashing is like, I don't know, because I've known men like that, and I've known guys like that, right? And I have a son now, and I really don't want to raise him like that, right? I don't want him to be an a-hole to women. So those are the tropes, and honestly, there's a lot of women that have to live with that. And as guys, we're like, oh no, this is bogus. I'm like, well, maybe you don't, but there's a lot of other guys that do treat women like that. And
I tried to get my mom to watch She-Hulk. She just will not watch any. My mom is a retired judge / lawyer, and came up in the 70s where like she always tells the story.
I'm gonna be right back.
Yep. See you, Bert. My mom was passed over for a really good job placement internship in the 70s because the person handing it out said that she was most likely just going to end up getting married anyway. And this job is kind of a destination job and can set you up for a future.
Oh.
And should be reserved for people that, you know, are going to have real careers like the men. And, you know, that was the kind of stuff. I thought she might appreciate aspects of She-Hulk, but yeah, she just wasn't having it. She's like, I'm not watching something called She-Hulk.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things too. Like, if I think the superhero aspect of it maybe turned some people off. I think she probably would have maybe enjoyed it if it wasn't in that regard. I think that kind of like just some people just can't get over that fact that I know this is not real. I know that this can't happen in the real world type deal. So I'm like, you know, it's just they can't get over that fact.
I've tried for years,
but yeah, no, I think definitely somebody like that would appreciate, you know, having a female in that stage of her career. Like, hey, you know, you can have a career in this field. Whereas, like you said, back in the 70s, women got passed over all the time because, like, oh no, you know, men have kids all the time, right? But apparently, you didn't have to take care of your kids, and you're just like, whatever, just leave them with the mom, and I could just go to work because I don't care. And it's like, no, like, you need to take care of your damn kid too. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not just on the woman to take care of the kids. So it's interesting how that mindset is like, what? Like, oh, you're just gonna get pregnant and get married, and then there goes that. That's all you're good for. It's like, no, I can do this too.
Oh, I mean, it's an old school mentality. I mean, I fight it to myself to this day, where I sit there and I'm at work and I hear people, oh, hey, so and so is out for the next 4 weeks because he's taking paternity leave, and I'm all, what, did he squeeze out the child? Why the hell does he need to take 4 weeks? And then then my mind starts to think like, okay, wait, hold on a second. That's just pure caveman brain reaction of how I was brought in the environment I was raised in versus, okay, no, I understand what the real reality is and everything else. And so that aspect. But my question about the show, and I haven't gone back to look for this, but this is like the key potential linchpin to this whole show to me. In the beginning, did she ever publicly tell everybody how she came into these powers? We saw that as the audience.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So why is the whole plot of this whole show based on them going to steal her blood to inject it into themselves to get powers like she did, if nobody knows that's how she came to get the powers?
Yeah, because she really kind of glossed over it when she was doing that interview with they
didn't really care.
Yeah.
The questions that they asked her in the interview weren't necessarily like how she got the powers and stuff like that. It was basically just like these random ass questions.
What's it like being a woman?
She never explained. Yeah, she definitely never. Obviously, we saw it as the audience watching it unfold. But during the show, I don't think they never mentioned that she actually explained it to everybody. Like, hey, I didn't ask for these powers. Like, it happened during an accident or whatever. Like, there was nothing. So yeah, people were just assuming that this is what happened. And, you know, so I in the show, like, not us, like in the show, I guess people were just assuming that, you know, she got her powers through nepotism and all of the crap. And it's like, but she never publicly said, hey, I didn't get these damn powers. Like, I didn't even want them. Like, I got into an accident to try to save my cousin. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I got him. So I think that's probably one of the things where if she would have explained it, maybe there would be no plot, I guess, or maybe
she didn't explain it, so the plot makes no sense.
Yeah, it would have just kind of like crushed everything,
for a lot of
maybe
that.
they just wouldn't have believed her anyway, and be like, "Oh, no, we don't believe you. You're lying."
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because, you know, how I took the whole thing once I look at the whole thing as a whole. Yeah, and I agree with certain elements about, you know, like, look, I don't care about whether or not they bring in female superheroes or everything else. That's all fine. I'm superhero asexual. I don't care. But matter of fact, I rail against some of the over sexualization and stuff of the superheroes all the time on my show. But I ended up walking away from it as this was a bunch of angry writers who are upset with internet trolls talking about their crap, and we're going to turn a mirror on you, the fan base, and show you how ugly and how you are at making things for other people.
Yeah.
And I, as an audience member, great, that's one level of art, but that's definitely not. I don't like art telling me that I'm stupid or I'm mean.
It felt hostile at times.
Yeah. And I love the actress. I loved her in her Orphan Black.
Mhm.
So I mean, when they brought her in, I was like, oh, okay, that's definitely, obviously you're going to have a big transit. You're not bringing in, much like Ruffalo. You're not bringing in a guy who you're going to mistake as a big muscle bound guy. So the transition was definitely going to be huge.
Mhm.
But I thought she was a fabulous actress. But then her portrayal in, or the way she was directed, one or the other of this, like I always had problems throughout, and I said it week after week with Jennifer Walters. How she was being portrayed is like she's supposed to be this good, great lawyer who should have plenty of confidence in front of courts and arguing points and all these other things, but she was played as very mousy in order to really play this difference between She-Hulk and herself. And so she wasn't sure of herself when she was in human form and all this other stuff, but only when she was She-Hulk, then she was beautiful and magnificent and confident and all these other things. But otherwise, it just she didn't come across to me as somebody who was an experienced lawyer.
I felt the same way. Not asking her client if he followed the instructions.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, dude. Come on.
If anything, she was a horrible lawyer based on what we saw in courtroom stuff. I mean, other than willing to self-deprecate herself when she was being on the line. I mean, what else did she do that was a pretty good maneuver?
Right. Yeah, I just thought the show was just. I didn't like the way they ended it, but it's not for everyone. Like Los said, I felt like Los was like no one had asked him what he thought of the show, so he gave like the 5-minute answer of like, okay, this is this side, this is this side, this is this side. I felt like Los's answer was the perfect like summary and thoughts on the entire show, and it comes from someone who knows exactly what they're talking about with reading it. Because I'll be honest, I've never read a She-Hulk comic. So
Oh, you haven't?
Really?
no.
That's why I thought it was hilarious when people started going off about her sleeping around. I was like, oh, you can't. That's probably the most comic book accurate thing that they did in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was shocked Mark clutched his pearls on that one. Like you were in that chat, I think, Robin. I was really giving him the business.
Yeah,
It's like
that's exactly what she
quarters of the
does.
Marvel universe has been with her. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and really, when you consider the time frame, by the end it shows it's been essentially a season of the year because she won an award for being at this firm.
right.
It's not like this series takes over 2 weeks. It's like half a year of somebody's life.
Yeah, it's been
and
a while.
in half a year, oh my God, she had sexual intercourse with 3 different partners. Well, I feel sorry for you guys when you graduated high school because apparently you were stone cold nerds.
Right.
I was only having sex with one person.
By that point?
Yeah, but I also started dating my wife when I was 16, so.
Okay. Well, with the exception of you, even a fatty like me had one wild summer after high school. But damn, if there weren't all these guys like, I don't understand why she's so promiscuous. Really? Like 3 and 6 months is that?
And I think what Los was saying earlier too about it being comic accurate, like it was somewhat comic accurate, but it doesn't have to be because us comic book people, we're gonna watch the show regardless. They're gonna get our view regardless.
Yeah, I'm fixed money.
They're trying to get the other people to watch the show.
Yep.
So.
Well, and they did. I mean, I don't read She-Hulk normally. I mean, I've read some, but
Right.
I don't. It's not something I read. So, but I'll pay attention to it. Most of these Marvel movies and shows and stuff in reality are outside of what I normally read because I do have a very narrow focus on what I take the time to read.
Right.
But
Right.
they're not Spider-Man and they're not 2099. So what is there for me to read on these other things, right? I mean, Mike
Sure.
understands. It's not New Warriors either. So, but
I've actually read a lot though, and for She-Hulk,
come on, you're supposed to just go with me for the bit
I
here,
read the
buddy.
first 2 volumes.
He was
You could have been with me for the bit.
Becker.
Sorry, Rob.
He's been CLZ in his.
Want to
comics.
try this again?
And how many comics
All
have
right.
you
Give me
done
the
so
setup.
far?
So it's not Spider-Man or 2099 or New Warriors, right, Becker?
New Warriors is the only thing worth reading.
See,
I don't-
so but I am aware through their interactions and occasional drift of all these other characters and what's going on. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Dan.
Loach, you go to those flea markets a lot up
Yeah.
in the New England area. Have you gone to any recently?
I have gone. The last time I went, I didn't really find anything. But I did go to an antique store
Oh,
that had some books
do you want to show them off?
and found a couple. Yeah, actually, still have them right in front of me.
Nice. Let's see what you got.
So you know what? I'll do the Marvel books that I found first, because I know this is more of a DC heavy crowd. And I actually found more DC books than Marvel in this. So
No.
so the first one was this one, just, the Peter Parker 97. This was like the first appearance of, the hell's his name? Spot, but before he became Spot.
Mhm.
Just a spec. I don't really care about this book or the character, but it's gonna pop up eventually. He's the villain in the next Spider-Man Miles movie. So it's like, what the hell? Worth a shot at grabbing that. The next one I actually thought was a pretty good find for $2. I think I found a bunch of books and it totaled like $37 or something like that for all these books. But this one I think was a pretty good find. It's Avengers Forever #1. But this is the variant cover. Found it for $2, so you can still see it has the sticker on it.
Nice.
On eBay right now, I think these are still going for about $50 or something like that.
Boom.
So
Mega hit.
yeah, so I was like, I'll take. I saw that, I was like, I'm grabbing this. So these next ones, I'm gonna jump into DC. This next book, there's nothing with it. I just thought it was a cool ass cover. And it's Detective Comics. So is that 823? And I just thought it was a cool cover. It's
That
like,
is a sweet cover.
yeah. So I was like, sure, I'll take that for $2.
Nice.
So next one, I think this was a nice little like minor key. Green Lantern 43.
Oh, for the Blackest Night. Nice.
So yep. So you got was it Black Hand becomes Black Lantern? So
I thought Blackest Night was brilliant.
So I'll take that. And all these Lantern books I found in a box that was on the floor underneath all the other boxes. And if anybody knows me, I will sit on the floor and look at those boxes down the bottom. Anytime somebody walks by and they're like, "Oh, whose feet are those on the floor?" It's like, those are mine, because I will sit on the floor to look through some long boxes. That's where you find those
Spoken
deals.
like a skinny man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a young man's game right there.
I'm not that young, but
If I get on the floor, we're gonna need a couple of able-bodied fellas to get me back up.
So I got Green Lantern 39.
Ooh,
So
Nice.
that was another good one. I think it was like first full Lair Fleece, I believe, or something like that.
Morphin.
I might be butchering that name. Sorry about that. The next one was a nice little run, and it was Green Lantern 18. So I got 18, 19, and 20. So I got that whole little, first whatever Star Sapphire Core or something like that. I'm like, I'll take that. I got Green Lantern 28.
Have you ever heard of Mint Hunter Comics?
Yes.
He would appreciate that stuff. He's a big Green
Yeah.
Lantern.
Oh, he's a huge Lantern fan. And then the last one that I got, which, book that I was looking for a while, and of course it would just pop up, Flash 141.
Boom!
Oh.
Nice.
Figured you guys appreciate it. I was like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
I saw this and I immediately I was like, yep, I knew what this is.
Nice.
I was like,
I just finished
the
a
bulk of my
double run
stuff
of that.
is normally like Marvel, indie, stuff like that. But I do have, quite a bit of DC too. But a lot of the DC lore, I don't know too much about it, especially like the Green Lantern stuff. My brother is a big Green Lantern fan. So talking to him and knowing certain things, that's why I know some of these books. I'm like, yep, taking this. So
Nice. So is that
yeah,
everything?
those are some of the books that I found. Just
How do you feel about the new Warriors? Since this is our first time meeting, they're
New
pretty
Warriors?
great, aren't they?
I have not read the new stuff. I know some of the 90s.
Volume 1 though, Speedball.
Yeah,
Doesn't love some Speedball.
some Speedball. Was that
Night Thrasher.
Yep. That was the
Great
nice
team.
90s stuff. And
Nova.
Speedball and Amazing Spider-Man Annual like 16 or whatever the hell was his first appearance. Popping up on the cover.
Great character.
Yeah.
Becker's trying to get you initiated to him.
Hey, honestly, I'm not a. I only have to read this certain genre or this type of like comic. I read essentially everything, right? DC, Marvel, indie. Some of the stuff that maybe I shy away from is like more like horror stuff. I don't really read too many horror books. I will read like Someone's Killing Children, a couple other things, but horror is not really my genre. But almost anything else, I'll read.
Manifestos,
Marvel, DC, whatever. It doesn't matter. Indie, I'll read it. If it's interesting and if it sounds like it's decent, I mean, I'll read it. I'll give it a shot.
Sure.
does that include manifestos?
Manifestos.
Careful, Rob might get you into his cult.
That's right. My
How do you feel about women in bubble helmets?
Oh my god.
So now we're getting very specific.
Oh
It's
my goodness.
Let's narrow this down.
No, I just didn't know much about him, so I just figured what got you into comics? Like what's your what was
Refill my
your
coffee.
entrance?
My entrance, so it pretty much started teenager. My uncle was really big into comics, and I remember the first time he pulled out this like suitcase. Like he didn't have a box or anything. It was a suitcase, and he literally just had books in there, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And the books he was pulling out, X-Men #1.
Oh wow!
Incredible Hulk 181. The Wolverine miniseries 1 through 4. Just pulling. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And he ended up giving me a copy. He had 2 copies of Wolverine miniseries #1.
Okay,
Give me a copy of that. And so that was my like first book and introduction. And I read that book and I was like, what is this? Especially, being a teenager, it was just very adult. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And from there, I just kind of went on, went to like an antique store, bought my first book with my own money, random ass like Fantastic Four book. And like read that and then just kind of got into it. And then from there, it was like, all right, I found some other people and some other friends that were into comics like me. And, found a LCS that was another town over because I lived in Brooklyn growing up and I had to go to Queens to get books and stuff like that. So we went over there and kind of started like a pull list and, getting Spider-Man and Batman and Wolverine and all the other books. And from there, it kind of just took off and I've been into comics ever since, kind of drifted like some people kind of, you fall off the wagon a little bit. And
some do.
I came back into it probably.
Well, you're right. Maximum Clonage was horrible, and I don't blame you for leaving comics.
Is that what drove you out, Rob?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I left.
I would like to thank
there,
never
like
having children for not driving me out of comics.
So came back probably like 15.
It does change
15 years ago.
quite a bit. It does.
But yeah, so I mean, I got to a point where comics wasn't acceptable by most women.
Girls, yeah.
So it was like
Somebody's been reading my diary.
it was like
How do you think it was reading comics and being a Boy Scout?
oh.
Oh,
Hey, I
man.
was that too.
Worked out well for me in the end, but you know.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like yeah, I'm gonna go this way for a little while. But then I met my wife and my sister-in-law, her husband, he was into comics, and I was like, oh wow, it was like he liked to read comics, stuff like that. I read comics, but I was more in like the collector side. Like I used to like collecting a lot of books, and he was more into it. I just into the stories, not really into like the collecting side of it. And we kind of came together, and now it's like that blend of reading comics, collecting comics, selling comics, doing whatever, like almost every facet of like the comic industry, cleaning and pressing comics. And we just got into like everything. We're like,
awesome.
What else can you do in this hobby? Doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's like, let's just do it all.
Have you ever traded, Los?
I have.
What's your best trade that you've done that you think at least?
Or
what's the one that you're most proud of? I should say.
Man, I haven't done many trades just because
sure, some
people are just not really into it. I know probably like one of my best trades is probably when I was younger, and I don't even have that book anymore. But I think I traded like I forgot what, but I think I traded some like random Crisis on Infinite Earth book. I forgot which one it wasn't in the run.
7, 8, or 12, probably.
Yes, somebody needed to complete a run, and I ended up trading that book, I think, for like X-Men 221 or something like that, like the first Sinister or something like that. But at the time, it was not a book that was like worth $100, $50, whatever. It was a $15 book at the time. So trading for I think like issue 7 or something like that of like Crisis on Infinite Earth, like the death of Supergirl.
Yep, right? Number 7.
So I think that's the book I traded for, and it worked out pretty good. Eventually, I sold my collection when I came out here to Massachusetts, and fell on a little bit of hard times, and I had to sell my collection, which that book eventually went with it as well. But that's neither here or there because I'm still a little salty about having to sell that collection. But
right,
it is what it is. I try to play catch up, as you can see by the books behind me, but
I remember you selling your GSX.
Yeah, that hurt. Oof. That hurt. It was I feel like I'll eventually get it back. But it's just one of those things. At the time, I knew it was the easiest book to move, and
you got it priced insanely well. Yeah. What was it, like a mid-grade copy? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a 4.0 restored. It had a purple label, so it had some like color touch or something like that on the cover. But when I bought it, and then when I sold it, and I didn't have it long. I had it for maybe a few months, and in that few months, it essentially tripled in price from when I bought it. So I was like, all right, needed the money. This is a perfect time. The book went up, and I was like, I knew it was going to sell quick, and it did. So I was like,
yeah, I remember it being on there, and I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. I think I messaged you a few times about it, actually.
Yeah, there was a couple books that I moved that still hurt. I sold my ASM 121 and 122. Death of Gwen Stacy. I had both copies. CGC 9.6. Both of them 9.6s. And but I know they went to a good home because TJ bought them. So
okay.
I was like, yeah. So TJ bought them. So I'm like, all right. As long as they're going to a collection
TJ
that I know.
Meaning Flash by Night.
Huh?
Flash by Night, TJ, or
no, Slab Dragon.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
TJ the Slab Dragon Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So TJ bought them. He messaged me. He was like, Yeah, I want both of those.
I like TJ. He's another person I've known pre-YouTube. Like I knew you, Karate Kevin, Carlito, Thanatos, who doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he'll still do like things on IG and stuff like that, but he's kind of moved away from.
He's out of
the
it
comics.
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's moved away from comics.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does happen. It does happen. Rob, what do you got going on today, bud? What are you doing?
Going through boxes and boxes of slabs to pull for the auction and hope that my filing system is accurate so I can find them easily, as well as put away a bunch of slabs that have been just stacked on the table in my garage from shows and stuff that were coming off the wall or other things that I haven't put away yet.
Sounds about right.
So Rob, should I be on your auction? I'll expect to be on your auction on Sunday.
Yeah. The main auction, absolutely.
Yep, that's where you've got me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. For that
For
beautiful
anybody
thing
watching that's interested in Neil Adams' art, I will be auctioning off a convention head sketch of Havoc that I got from Neil in 2019.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rob,
He's not making any more.
I have a big list of people that I'm gonna reach out to that are in the community.
Have them come on your show. That's fine.
And have them come on the show and see if they can sell some stuff.
Yeah.
So that way we're not bogging down yours, because I know you're gonna have a ton of people wanting to sell stuff. So
there's everybody's so a lot of the shows. So we'll talk about it for a second here. All right. So Burke just dropped the link. So the link that he's dropped is our link tree. And that link tree has a couple different things. The first one is, of course, the link. If you just want to make a donation to the ACS, goes right to the event page, so you can make the donation. The rest of it is the schedule of shows and links to all the channels. And what's going to happen is when we start off, throughout the stuff, some of the shows will be regular content. So like when I talk about my Only Slab show on that weekend, it's just still going to be regular Only Slabs, except what we'll talk about every so often. It's like going to be like a PBS pledge break. Oh, hey, don't forget this show's, and to solicit donations that cost. Some shows will be like that, but have actual periodic little mini sales and mini auctions throughout them. Some of them might be like a draw, and like I'm going to have on Friday, we're going to do a community artist commune where a series of live creates and sells, where we'll have artists come on, they'll draw stuff or create stuff, because Pocan Joe will be there to create something in the evil lair that then we'll turn around and auction off right there on that show and stuff. But the main big event auction, end of event auction, is on Sunday at noon after your show. It may not be immediately after, you may not go directly up to noon, but it starts at noon.
Yep.
I understand it's perfectly fine for us to have gaps between segments for people to go use the bathroom, rest, eat, give their family a hug, and say, okay, I'll see you later. Bye. Honey, now's a good time. Honey, the auction's coming up. It's a good time for you to go grocery shopping and not come back for a while, so you don't know how much money I spend.
And the final auction is on your channel, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. Just wanted to put that out there. Okay.
I'm trying to think of anything else I might have that.
So I'm going to pull up the schedule really quick for anyone that didn't click on the link, because if you didn't click on the link, that means you're still here watching. So
SCG wants to know who that Firestar is.
Yeah, David Yarden, who's actually friends with Mad Spidey.
Oh.
All right, so here we go. So it'll be Friday morning is the first one on Legion of Comics, and then we're going to go to Rob's Fat Stacks at 4:00. Gary B, the casual comic guy, and then DJ Links. Saturday morning we have Whack Comics, Brian LCS, John's Comics of Kids. Going back to Rob's Fat Stacks for Only Slabs. Tylocks, Remy Q on Saturday night will come here Sunday morning, and then the final auction will be on Rob's channel at 12 Eastern.
Yeah, and my Only Slabs, so I have debated whether not to make it a separate entry or not. So there's actually two shows that run back to back. After Only Slabs is done, then it's going to flip it onto another stream, and then on the same channel. But it's going to be kind of a little bit of a hangout, the slab discussions. I've got 5 submissions from CBCS that are back that ranging from golden age to original art to modern stuff that we'll go through and discuss, and as we hang out, and who knows, maybe I'll sell something right out of the box.
So Silver Knight Kyle says, as I'm currently in the treatment stages of 2 different types of malignant cancer, seeing the hype on this upcoming weekend is inspiring, and all you contributors are straight up badass.
Very cool.
I hope that you continue your fight and come out on the winner side of all that. By all means, this is, for us, it's kind of like a no-brainer. I mean, cancer is just one of those things. Unfortunately, it really is this ultimate supervillain because everybody's had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Everybody, whether you directly have to deal with it or you're a family member, whatever, have to suffer the fallout. There's no damage control that's going to come in and clean it all up, except for, us working together. So when Cardboard Crazies, and this is the thing, I want to make sure it's like, this isn't me, right? This is an event that, if anybody deserves any really special attention, this is Chris from Cardboard Crazies, who really came up with this idea last year on his own as an independent event, and came into it hoping to make $2,000 and ended up making over $8,000 for the ACS. And ACS took notice of that, and they then adopted this as an official campaign. Now Chris I'm hoping he's going to be able to make an appearance or something, but I talked to him yesterday, and the message was that they could be called in at he could have to go in anytime this week, potentially. His wife is pregnant. And so, congratulations to them.
For
and
sure.
But hopefully he's going to make an appearance, if nothing else, in a pre-recorded statement, if nothing else. But, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Cowboy Crazies, and shout out to him he did it 24 hours. It was a 24-hour.
That was my thing. Like when I ended up getting kind of tangentially roped into spearheading this thing, the one thing that I knew right off the bat was, he did a 24-hour marathon thing, and I was like, I've done that in the past when I was back in my younger days when I was in radio, and I ain't young. And I ain't dumb anymore. Right. So that's when I decided to do this instead. And I know, like, look, if I was to spearhead it all, I have a small channel. I'm not 1,000 subscribers yet, right? So I have a limited reach. Well, let's change that up. Even though, maybe there's a good core of people that are on my channel and Mark's channel and Burke's channel and DJ's channel and everything else. We have overlapping circles. And those overlapping circles allow you to spread out your and hit a larger coverage, right?
Right.
And so that was kind of the impetus. Let's engage more channels. And originally there were other channels from completely different circles I had hoped to engage, but unfortunately some of them, for various reasons, weren't able to participate.
Right.
But I'm still hustling. I'm still like reaching out to like DJ. I'd reach out to him and say, hey, that guy you're doing all these edits for? Wouldn't it be nice if he could promote this event for us? Because he's got a handful of people that watch his stuff.
Yeah.
I'll ask him. And it's like, hopefully. But yeah, please spread the word.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I've been trying to post it about almost every day recently. And I have a list of people to reach out to about doing auction stuff on my channel next Sunday, which Lois is on the list. I'll talk to you more about it later.
Yeah, and I got to go through. I woke up as I was looking for the link for this. I see a bunch of IG hits that came up overnight. My last night before I went to bed, I threw out a bunch of follow-ups with some of the artists I had reached out to, and I see a bunch of responses. So hopefully, cross my fingers, they're positive.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well, with that, we are going to get out of here. I'm going to head up all sponsors again, see through one more time, and then we'll get out of here. I appreciate Beckerman, Lowe's, and Rob's Fat Sacks, of course, for joining us today. This was an awesome stream, and I'm excited to be doing it again next Sunday, same time. We're going to do 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. That'll be, 6 a.m. Pacific. 3 days of the C3 Comics Curing Cancer event. Be on here next Sunday. What's that? What?
You're starting at 6 a.m. Pacific?
You said 9 a.m. Eastern.
Is that okay? I was just making sure.
Yep. to donate, there is a QR code. It's gonna be all weekend. It's gonna be a great event. We're really, really, really excited about it. So again, if you want to donate, hit that QR code there. Thank you to the 616comics.com for sponsoring the channel in the monthly Burke box, which I showed off today. I'm going to put in a photo of that in the Burke fam chat here. I'm going to be posting about it later today on the Instagram. But guys, check out the 616comics.com, which will be sponsoring the C3 event as well. Thank you to the channel members. You guys are amazing. Everyone in there in the family tier is entered to win the monthly Burke box, again, sponsored by the 616comics.com. Everyone in friend tier and family tier, a link to their Instagram and YouTube is in the description of all my videos. Subscribe to them, follow them, and support this amazing comic book community. Thank you to Eric as well for sponsoring the channel. And he's also going to be sponsoring C3. Going to give away some free pressings.
Clarify. Both parties, 616 and Comic Book Pressing, are donating to the cause. They're not sponsoring the event.
I'm sorry. Yes, they are donating to the cause.
Sorry, I work in contract.
I apologize for using the wrong verbiage there. Comic Book Pressing 616 will have some stuff for the C3.
And
event.
we very much thank them for their contributions to the event.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
peace out.
Go Cats. Cowabunga. It's Morphin time.